Hello everybody, my name is Sheldon St. Clair. We've got about 250 members in the group, so I thought it's probably about time that I did a short video to explain to you all. I wanted to introduce myself, wanted to formally introduce the group, and also to provide some explanation about the group itself. I created this Facebook group just a little over a month ago, and I've really been humbled and impressed by the amount of interest and people wanting to learn more about project management and PMO. So I'm Sheldon St. Clair, born in the UK, born in London, and I've been in the project management industry since 1985. So that's that's quite a lot. My degree is in mathematics and computing, and my first job was as a programmer. And from a programmer, I moved to work as a business analyst. And then probably around about 1986, I moved into project management and PMO. It was a case of a new baby, a new home, a new job, all in the same year. So my first contract, I'm self-employed, and my first contract was as a test manager, working for an oil and gas facility. So in terms of project management, I've worked in the public sector, in the private sector, mainly in financial services, so the banks in the City of London. But I've 20 odd years of working in a variety of settings. I've seen how things are done, how things should be done properly, how things shouldn't be done, what is best practice. So I've got a lot of information, a lot of skills, a lot of knowledge, a lot of techniques. And I've reached a point in my life where I wanted to start sharing that information with people. I've mentored project managers, I've coached project managers, and I thought, okay, let me use social media as a setting to share my knowledge and share my experience. Probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I did create a website where I did this, and then I stopped it. I thought, let me use social media. So that's that's about me. Yes, in terms of qualifications, I'm Prince 2 qualified. I haven't got my PMP yet, but I've got a P30 qualification, which is project management, which is setting up a PMO, which is a project management office, or a program management office, or a portfolio management office. It covers all three skill sets. I'm actually doing my doctorate degree in project management, and I'm just waiting for my final interview. So that should take place the early part of this year. And I'm also an author of an upcoming book called Why Don't Project Managers Listen? So this is really a book not from the project manager telling clients what they should do, but this is what clients are saying to project managers. Please listen to this. This is what my real problems are. This is what my real challenges are. I'm not necessarily interested in risks and issues or business cases or project charters. This is my objective. Okay, and please help me to solve it. So that's my book, which will be published shortly, or certainly within the next 6 months. Okay, so that's about me, and I probably will be doing a lot more videos about myself. This was probably not one of my best, so I apologize for that. But I'll be doing a bit more, so I'll get to understand, you'll get to understand me, and I'll get to understand a bit more about yourselves in terms of why you joined this group and what your interests are. So it really is about me listening to you and me tailoring the knowledge and the information I have that serves you better, that that gives value to you. That's really what this is about. Okay, right. So in terms of kind of like this group, I've changed the title today, this morning. It's called the Project Management and PMO Courses, Training and Mentoring. And I think that better describes what I'm about, and that probably better describes why you're here and why you have interest in this group. As I mentioned, there's kind of over 250 of you, which is I'm really pleased. I'm really impressed. And this group is aimed at the African continent rather than Europe and the US. And my reason for that is quite straightforward. In the West, we have a perception of the African continent, which I believe isn't true, isn't correct. I've done business in Ghana. I've worked in Egypt, and I've visited other places as well in that region. And I know that what we read in the newspapers and what we see on TV doesn't really describe what Africa is about. In fact, in the West, as some of you may know, we kind of we talk about Africa as one country, whereas in fact there's 53 countries, different languages, different cultures, different ways of doing things, but we still view it as one country, which is wrong. It's a continent. And also, again, reading the stats, a lot of education is expensive, it's not available. And I wanted to kind of redress some of that by providing my information, some of it free, and bits are not free. They're not pitched at European or US prices. I've looked at the cost of living in many of the countries, and I think what I've got is affordable. But it really is about sharing my information. So in terms of information I share, it's videos, it's quizzes, it's research and trends that project managers and aspiring project managers will need to know about. Like blockchain, for instance. It's very new in Europe, but it's a phenomenal skill for aspiring project managers in Europe and in Africa to think about, to learn about, and I'll be providing that here. In terms of courses, I've got one course that I've created. It's called The Fundamentals of Project Management. Some of you who eventually will be learning or studying for your PMP exams, and some of you that will be learning and studying for your Prince 2 exams. This is a good introduction to project management, and the knowledge and the skill set goes across both Prince and PMP, because my skill set covers both areas. I'll be running a course as well on PMO, portfolio, program and project office or management office. So again, that's kind of like my main background, and that is quite big, and it's going to be quite big in Africa. I think some countries are really adopting it. So that's kind of something I'll also be running. Agile as a methodology, I'll be running a course on that as well. Agile has kind of leapt from IT to the way we work in business. The way we work in business. So I'll be running a course on that as well. And also blockchain. I think many of you will be aware of kind of cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I believe, and a lot of other analysts believe, that digital currency is going to be the future in Africa, particularly. So you won't be kind of like sending or receiving money via Western Union or MoneyGram or BetU but you'll be using cryptocurrencies. I think kind of like what the Kenyans have done with M-Pesa and also Dabshil. It's phenomenal. That's the way to go. Okay, so gosh, I've got to. My apologies. I think it's probably nerves or what have you. My apologies for that. Yeah. So my market is really people aspiring to be project managers, and also junior project managers who've just started, recently qualified, and also experienced project managers as well. I think kind of like as an experienced project manager, the worst thing you can do is to think, I know it all, there aren't any more information that I can get. I'll just kind of like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, I'll just stay where I am. That's not the case. Project management will be revolutionized in the next 2 or 3 years. I belong to a number of labs, project management labs, project management special interest groups, research groups where kind of like they're looking at the future of project management. What are the trends for the next 10, 20 years? And I'll be bringing that to you. And finally, I'll be looking to interview 400 of the top project managers in Africa today, in Ghana, in Somalia, in Ethiopia, Egypt, Botswana, South Africa. I'll be conducting 10-minute interviews with those individuals, and I'll bring them to this group. They'll be for people who are studying the courses, who have purchased the courses, and this is kind of like what I'll be adding to those members. So you can see what people who are rated in their industry, what they're thinking, what are their issues, what are their strengths, what are their successes, whether they see project management in the next 3 to 5 years. And I'll be bringing that to you guys. So I think that's it for now. I'll be doing more of these videos, and they'll be getting better and better. And I'll be kind of like look to focus more on the dot, where my inclination is to look at myself on the screen. Yeah, so I'll get better at this. I promise you. So thanks for now. Thanks for listening. I think this video is probably a bit longer than I thought it would be, but bye for now, and have a blessed day. Bye.